Silver is a joke, and I'm done with it. It's about time you all figure that out. Now, obviously that's not me, but it is a comment that I got on one of my recent videos, and to be honest, I see stuff like this all the time. What I don't get is this: if you're done with silver, why are you still here? Why are you watching silver videos, leaving angry comments on every upload? Now look, to be honest, I don't mind that much because your views and comments still help the channel. And by the way, if you want to help the channel, please do me a favor and make sure you are subscribed. But if you really believe silver is worthless, why are you so obsessed with it? Well, today I want to respond to that mindset and explain why I believe that stacking silver is one of the most important financial decisions that I still make. So let's get into it. But really quick, guys, I do want to tell you that my channel sponsor, Bullion, has been having some really good deals on their website lately. If you go to stbullion.com/deals, that is the Docs Deals page. For example, right now as I'm recording this, they have 2 different at-spot deals for 90% silver. So if you're looking to get some cheap silver, go check them out at stbullion.com/deals. And thank you to Bullion for sponsoring my channel. Now, I know what you're thinking. I just said silver is important to me, and then I plugged a bullion dealer. But here's the thing. I've been stacking and talking about silver long before this channel had sponsors, long before SD even knew who I was. This isn't just content for me. It's what I do. It's part of my own strategy to protect value, and to prove it, this is part of my actual deep stack. These are bars, if you've been watching for a while, you have probably seen before. Now, one thing that I do find to be a joke, going back to that original comment, and you're going to say, well, you can't say it's a joke, it's important, but it is also kind of a joke, is this right here. Now, fiat currency is incredibly important, especially here in the US, because this is how we do all of our transactions. This is how we buy and sell, things. If we open a business, we're probably going to accept the US dollar. Right? You don't have to, I suppose. In states like Florida and Missouri, so on and so forth, you can actually accept just gold and silver for payment, but you're not going to do very much business because the high majority of people, this is what they stack. They look at the number in their bank account or the number in their stock portfolio, and that number is what's important to them. And I'm not saying it's not important. I have money in a bank account. I have money in a savings account. I have a stock portfolio. I've said on this channel many times that I don't put all of my eggs in one basket. I believe in silver because silver is a savings account that is outside of this. Now, the reason I have each one of these different denominations in front of me is I want to show you something. So this was a $1 bill in, we'll say 1980. Okay. Or 1964. Let's say 1964. That's when we stopped making 90% silver. Now this is a $1 bill in the mid 70s. And this is a $1 bill in the 80s. And this is a $1 bill in the 90s. And this is a $1 bill in the early 2000s. And as we continue to print money into oblivion and go into massive US debt, I just saw a meme recently where it said, hey guys, look, we have a brand new $20 bill here in our US, and they just showed a picture of 100. And if you don't know what I mean by that, it means that the value of this continues to decline. And it's always going to. It's unfortunate, but what I meant was what you can buy with this today, you could have bought with this just, 15 years ago, and this 30 years ago, and this 40 years ago, and obviously those numbers aren't exact. I'm just giving it as an example. But my point is it takes more of these all the time to buy the same stuff. Now, look, we've talked on this channel before about the whole 90% thing. I got a little bag of 90% right here. I'm going to pour out. And we've talked about the 1964 gallon of gas. Well, this quarter right here, which is from 1964, will buy me a gallon of gas today, just like it would have back in 64. There's the analogy of the 1 ounce gold coin would have bought you a nice suit back in the 60s. Today, that same coin, or we'll say a $20 gold piece, which isn't quite an ounce, by the way, it's 0.9675 ounces, but that same $20 gold piece would have bought you a nice suit today, just like it would have back then. So you cannot say the same for this fiat dollar right here. You cannot take this $20 bill anywhere and get a suit. Heck, you can barely take this and get lunch these days. Think about what the value, or how much you had to pay for a McDonald's quote-unquote value meal just 10 years ago. The double, and I'm not saying you should eat McDonald's, to each their own with their health decisions. It's not the best for you. We all know this. But besides the point, you could go to McDonald's with a $5 bill and get a 2 cheeseburger meal, 10 years ago. Same meal today is going to cost you $8, $9, $10, depending on, what part of the country you're in. The value, they used to have the dollar menu. I remember when McDonald's came out with the McDouble. The McDouble was $1. Today it's $2.99. And I know that because I was there recently. Again, make your own health decisions. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm certainly not. But 3 times the price from where it was just 10, 15 years ago. And there's been other examples. Taco Bell, there was a meme that I just saw of some burrito that they have. I don't eat a lot of Taco Bell, but some burrito that they had that was 99 cents 15 years ago and is now $2.89 today. So my point being is that this right here is going to continue to lose value. Whereas this, while there will be times, right? There will be times when silver will go up or go down based on a number of factors. At the end of the day, this is not going to continue to be able to buy the same stuff as it has been for 60 years. This likely will continue to do so. That's why I believe that the US dollar, while very important, and I'm not saying you should get rid of all your dollars. You certainly should not. You should, and I've said this many times, keep what you need for, emergency funds, to pay your bills, to take care of your family, to put food on the table, so on and so forth. You should also invest in other avenues. That way you can possibly increase your value. But one thing this can do, stocks can do, crypto can do, even though people don't want to believe it, it most certainly can. I'm not saying it will, but it can. One thing silver will never do is go to zero. This precious metal right here, say what you want about it, but its industrial demand continues to increase. And eventually we will need more silver. And if they have to go and mine it directly instead of getting it as a byproduct of other mining operations, I believe, and this is just my thoughts, that eventually we will need more silver than getting it as a byproduct out of mining will do. And if we go mine it directly, it will cost more money. If it costs more money to mine, the price is going to go up. That's just how it is. So, on top of the fact that it's done a very good job of keeping up with inflation, and it most certainly has, I believe that it's actually incredibly undervalued, because one thing it has going for it now that it didn't have going for it in the 60s is that it has way, way higher industrial demand. Now, obviously, it was used for film and mirrors and all that back then. But what it's used for today, basically every modern electronic device you have, modern EVs, especially with solid-state batteries, there's an estimate that solid-state batteries are going to take around 1 gram of silver per cell. A standard solid-state battery that can hold 100 kilowatt hours is probably going to be a 1,000-cell battery. And so 1,000 cells per gram, 1 gram per cell, that's 1 kilo of silver per vehicle. And that's not it. Every cell phone that exists in the world has a little bit of silver in it. Every monitor, every computer, every TV that you have in your house, they all have a little bit of silver. And the demand for silver is going to continue to increase. So on top of the fact that silver has always been looked at as a precious metal, as a hedge against inflation, it's also looking at increased industrial demand that I think is going to do nothing but cause its value to go up over time. And I think even today, like I just said, I think silver is grossly undervalued. I actually just talked about this with Josh from Coin and Bullion. It's a video that's going to be on the channel next week. Really, really good chat with Josh. Probably one of my favorite ones ever. So if you haven't done so yet, guys, do me a favor and subscribe so you don't miss out on that video. I'd appreciate you being here and watching it. But we're going to let it go here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And if you did, please do me a favor. Don't forget to like and subscribe and help us continue to grow. Over 67% right now, I just checked, of the people that watch my channel are not subscribed yet. So I'd really appreciate that. All right, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one, and have a great rest of your day.